thanks for tuning in to the much anticipated follow-up video with my sister Yoko's interview that I did with her. If you haven't watched it already, you can find it here or here, I'm not sure where, on the white bar. It will take you to the video. You don't have to watch it before you watch this one, but I do suggest that you watch it afterwards because her story about anxiety is really relatable and really interesting. Also, be sure to click that red bar down below, the subscribe button, and click the bell afterwards to get notifications whenever my videos are put up for the public to see. Yeah, click the thumbs up button when you like this video or any of my videos, and be sure to stay tuned until the very end because Yoko has an adorable and pretty special message for you all to see. Okay, enjoy. Say hi. Hi. He's my production assistant. Okay, so dialectical behavior therapy.
Yeah, and dialectical thinking refers to the belief that two opposing ideas can be true at the same time, and that the basic dialect for DBT is I can accept myself for who I am and work towards change. Dialectical behavioral therapy is very much about what is happening in the moment, where talk thinking is more about what happened in your past and figuring it out in your past.
Talk therapy.
Yeah, what's going on, what happened in your past, why are you the way you are, and DBT is much more about what's now and how you want your future, or how you want your actions to go.
There are 4 steps?
There are 4 steps.
4 steps of dialectical, or 4 modules. Ideals. Yeah. Behind DBT, and so Yoko will talk us through that.
Yeah. The first one is core mindfulness, so it's things like getting a wise mind, it's called. So it's thinking about the facts, which I really like. The facts, what your body is feeling, and what your emotions are. So it's connecting the different parts of your brain, so you can become centered. Observe and describe is one of the tools I really like. So it's just, okay, what is happening right now? I see this, I hear this, I feel, or my skin feels this, it's hot, it's cold. So you can center on the moment and not that future or forward thinking.
I liked you described the first step, the core mindfulness, as getting yourself to a good place, a good base to start all of these other things on.
Yeah. And so once you're in a good place to start, and a good place is just getting to a point where you can then move on. So you can still be in a really bad place and be able to move into emotion regulation. So emotion regulation is knowing what your emotions are. So a lot of people don't necessarily know what's happening. Or with me, I would feel these big emotions and I thought they would last forever and go on, and I didn't know when I was going to come out of them. So I started learning to just say, I'm feeling sad and shame and anger all at the same time. And these are just the emotions that I'm having. They're not who I am. They're not what I am. And they will pass. So if you start naming your emotions, you can use them in a healthy way, manage them better, and change them when possible. So it's all about just managing your emotions and not escalating to make it worse.
What's the next thing?
Distress tolerance. So by changing what you can and accepting what you can't, it reduces that constant and intensive difficult emotions that lead to destructive behaviors. So just my favorite parts of distress tolerance is accepting the isness. So a good example is my husband and I before we got married, there were a couple things that we really had different opinions on. And so I had to decide that I could not change him. It was not my place to change him. His behaviors weren't destructive. They were just different from his, these certain beliefs were just different from my beliefs. And so I had to decide, can I live with this and just be like, this is what it is, and it's up to me to decide if I want that in my life or not.
Mm-hmm.
And once I decide that, I can't get mad at him for it. Mm-hmm. Because I decide that's who he is, mm-hmm. and I made that conscious decision to have him in my life.
Right.
So I can't get mad at him for making those decisions. So that's the distress tolerance, is learning to live with things that
you can't control.
Yeah. And then the last one is interpersonal effectiveness, and this is getting more of your needs and wants met while maintaining and improving self-respect, respect of others, and how much others like you, which is a really...
I'm going to say that again. Self-respect, respecting others, and...
how much others like you.
And how much others like you.
Uh-huh.
That is a hard balance.
Yeah, it is a really hard balance. People don't like it necessarily when you speak your needs and wants. Some people can't handle it, and it means letting go of some relationships, some jobs, and it doesn't mean that you have to, but I know I've come up against where when I say in a job, for instance, like, this is how I wanted to be, these are my boundaries. These are my boundaries. I am not okay with this and this and this, and I won't react. I won't text you back on a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
That's my boundary. And it can lead to parting ways with that company. Mm-hmm. But in the end, that's better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, those are the 4 steps, and you can learn more about them. I will put some links below. There are some different workbook pages online that you can find on Pinterest. There are whole Pinterest boards on this, and some games if you have a youth group or any kind of support group that you want to get together and talk if you don't have a therapist who does DBT in your town. And you can also, I'll put links to below where you can go and find to look and see if there is anybody in your town who does
And if you
DBT.
live in the Western North Carolina area, Dr. Carr at New Leaf Psychotherapy is the bomb. Diggity. And our couples therapist, I can't ever remember, Sacred Paths out of Marshall, I think. That's what we'll put a link. Yeah. But they're wonderful too.
Great.
Can I just mention real quick, when I say I graduated, like, I'm a year and a half, I know some people are going to be like, what? But 4 reasons why I think it works so well and quickly for me, and I'm still working on it.
She means what, like, because some people might be watching and think, oh my gosh, that's such a long time.
Okay.
No, she means, wow, that's a short time. You can't change overnight. I've been going to therapy, you said since you were 12, and even though that might have not been for this specific thing, it was still therapy, still dealing with stuff. Yeah. And it takes a long time. Yeah. So when she says a year and a half, that's like, wow, that was really short. Okay, so go ahead.
That was really short to visit one therapist, I thought.
Yeah, it is.
So medication was, I think if I hadn't gotten on the medication, it would have taken a lot longer, because it helped my chemicals get to a place where it stopped those lowest lows. Mm-hmm. So I never got to those lowest lows anymore. So I was just in a place I could actually start working on tools. I had no uncoping habits that I was wanting to unlearn or stop in therapy. So that helped a lot. I wasn't trying to stop drinking or stop drinking coffee or stop smoking or getting off drugs or anything.
Even stop very serious, because some people have very serious relationship
and
communication.
That was one of my I was not in an unhealthy relationship.
Right.
If I was in an unhealthy relationship with someone, it would have been a lot harder. If I was single, it would have probably been just as easy, but being in a supportive relationship with a man who understood what I was going through and could support me, that was helpful. And then, but also I'm always open to calibration myself, and I am naturally empathetic with others, and so it really does, this kind of therapy really does work with me, because I'm already naturally inclined to give people the benefit of the doubt and be relaxed and accept them for who they are. So, okay.
Cool. Well,
Thanks for
coming
having me
on the show, Yoko.
Yeah, thanks for
Okay,
watching.
bye.
Bye. Hey, I definitely have some messy parts, but I have some pretty parts too. My favorites is the fact that if I want to try something new, which is pretty often, I do a lot of research and use my critical thinking skills to figure out the best way to do it. And with a little hard work, or a lot of hard work, I make it happen. Like my little rabbits, right? Yes. Oh, I love you guys.